It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's showtime, the Geno Jones Showtime. I'm coming to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're in Chicago right now, we're a little after 5:30, maybe closer to 5:35. Out on the West Coast, Monday through Friday, 3:30 p.m. The Geno Jones Show is brought to you by CM Transportation. If your business needs a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, CM Transportation is the company for you. You can go to CM like Mary, CMTransportationLLC.net, CMTransportationLLC.net, or call 843 area code. They are based here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area, but they do business nationwide. So 843 area code 606-2702, 843-606-2702, 843-606-2702. All right, so I have guests returning to the show. They do an incredible event called Boys to Men. It's a conference, and they do it every year. It's a conference to end violence in our communities, end violence against women, leadership, mentorship, and a whole lot. They're going to explain everything to you. Briefly, it'll be a relatively short show. Shout out to everybody watching me live. Please leave a comment in the comment section. And for everybody watching me live right now, please, if you got a question or comment, something you want to say, you want to argue with me, listen, have at it. Good luck with that. Just ask Damaris, okay? Just ask her. Anyway, jump on my chat room, post a comment there, or question or whatever it is, and leave a comment. Leave your comments about the show in the comment section. All right, and tell everybody to subscribe, share, screen grab, rip the video, like, binge watch all my back episodes. My goal is to get 1,000 new subscribers in roughly 60 days. So by Labor Day weekend, my goal is to have 1,000 new subscribers. So there's still a whole lot of talk, a lot of buzz about President Biden, who's going to be doing a big news conference in about, little over 20 minutes from now. Speaking of interviews, conversation, President Biden is going to do a sit-down interview with NBC's Lester Holt. That's going to air on NBC, the network, next Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So right around the time that I'm on. So I might even do a special 6 p.m. show on next Friday. I'm producing the show in real time, just thinking about it. So we may, next Monday, special start time, probably going to be 6 p.m. Eastern time. A whole lot of talk about President Biden will step down. Is Vice President Kamala Harris, is she going to be the heir apparent? And is she going to run? Let me just say this before I bring my guest on. First of all, if you missed last night's show and my monologue last night, you missed it. It is must-see TV, all right? It's a show and a monologue for the Broadcast Museum, and I say that in all humility, maybe kind of, sort of. Some false humility, I say. But let me just say this before I bring my guest on. The Democratic Party specifically, but all Americans, Democrats, Independents, Republicans, those who don't have any kind of party affiliation, this election in November is a choice. It is a binary choice. Binary means two. It's a choice between your freedom and your oppression. You've been hearing me talk about Project 2025 for about a year, and basically it is the blueprint to bring back the second era, a new Jim Crow, and all the Jim Crow laws that will legalize segregation and racism and discrimination against women also. It's basically stripping everybody of their rights. So that's what you need to be focused on. So the same energy with all this parlor intrigue, with all this drama, with all this energy that you would see on the season finale of like your favorite drama, like Scandal back in the day, because the media is not concerned. The media's job, even though it really is, but as far as the media, the folks that own the corporate media, their job is not to defend democracy, but to defend the dollars. They don't give a damn about democracy. They care about the dollars, or the dollars. That's it. And drama, intrigue, chaos, confusion, violence, drama, intrigue. They'll tell you, it makes for great TV. Folks are making a lot of money, and they're playing with all of our lives. So I talk about this in detail last night. Go back to Wednesday night's show. Check out the monologues. Matter of fact, I had a whole bunch of folks that tuned in. It was incredible. It was it was an amazing night. But the monologue, check it out. Copy and paste the link. Share it on your social media pages. Tag everybody you know in your universe, your followers, friends, fans. Text, copy and paste the link. Text it to them. Whatever you got to do, because this is serious. We're talking about lives, our lives, and we're talking about freedom, our freedom, and the freedom of our children and grandchildren, unborn children, and your oppression, our oppression, because that's the choice. It's a choice between freedom and oppression. So go back, and really, you can almost damn near watch any monologue from out of the last year. But last night, I go into detail talking about, and I did it last week, talking about everything, all the rights that Project 2025 are going to take, that will be taken away. The plan, it's in writing. Man, they're saying it with their full chest. They're sticking their chest out fully, bold. It's like, we're not trying to hide this. It's no secret. We are coming to oppress everybody who is not a wealthy, white, straight, Christian, white Christian nationalist male. Period, full stop. Google Project 2025. Like Taraji P. Henson said on the BET Awards. Shout out to Taraji. Taraji P. knew what she was talking about. These people are not playing with you. And they got it on paper. Because they don't think that you read it. First of all, that's an insult. How come they didn't ban? They banned all these books. They're not banning Project 2025, and that's damn near 1,000 pages. So just check it out for yourself, or go back and binge watch last night's episode. Just go back and binge watch any of my episodes, really, the last month, 6 months, a year. There you go. There you go, Butch. Okay, I was all right. There it is. I guess you couldn't hear me.
There you go. We can
All
hear you
right,
now.
there we go. All right, so the Boys and Men Conference is coming to the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. It's going to be July 20th, which is a It is a
Saturday.
Saturday.
Mhm.
Hollywood, South Carolina. So listen, I mentioned it in the opening. The Boys and Men Conference is a conference to end violence in our communities, to end violence against women, and to encourage, empower, or I should say, to enlighten, encourage, and empower boys and young men, and maybe some not so young men too can learn something on that day. So, Butch, my man, I am honored to have you and Alvin and Isaiah back on the show. This is so important. I'm honored to be a part of it. So listen, I am tossing the ball to you, and your soldiers, your leaders there, your consigliaries there. Let everybody know first, if you don't mind. Tell everybody that's watching what was. Give us the origin story and the inspiration for the conference, and then fast forward to what's going to be happening on.
Right. So this year will be our seventh. That's right, our seventh Boys to Men conference, and I mean we're honored, extremely honored. Last year we did West Ashley High School, and it did relatively well. So this year, like you said, we're coming to Baptist Hill Middle High School in Hollywood, South Carolina. We come and hang out with Chardell Murray and the crew out there in Hollywood.
Shout out to
So
Mayor
we're excited.
Murray and Crystal
Yeah,
Matthews
yeah.
and the whole crew. Yes.
Yeah, Crystal Matthews is going to be out there as well, and Lady T, she's going to be out there as well. We got a day-packed event for these young boys, and the reason why we do this event, Gino, and I tell everybody, is because in our community is so fractured, right? And we have kids that are in our community that don't know other kids in our community. Our goal is to bring these groups of young men together so that they know each other. So when they're in the street, if they have beef with each other, they can at least know each other, right? So that stops a lot of the beef, right? So they're no longer going to be strangers. So it's kind of important to us for our communities to get together and to know each other. So we work with mentorship groups. We bring them all out. This is a day of mentorship and a day of family fun. So we have events for the parents as well as the kids. And just like you said, when it comes to Boys to Men, it is called Boys to Men for a reason. So we have men that are going to be there as well, along with the boys. So we want everybody to come on out. That's enlighten, encourage, and engage everybody.
So you said this 7 years.
Yes, sir.
So big shout out to you for that. What was, if there was a signature moment in your life that made you say, I've gotta do this. I've got to put something together. If you don't mind sharing that backstory, what was the signature moment or moments or event that was really the inspiration for putting on this incredible event? Because it's a huge event, and it's a lot goes into it. You and your team, it runs smooth, so it may look like you all make it look easy, but it's not. I'm just here to tell everybody. But if you don't mind, if you could share that story, what was the one moment, the event that was the inspiration, the catalyst for doing this?
Well, the backstory is we've done this for 7 years, but there weren't 7 consecutive years, right?
Okay.
I mean, we did it many, many years ago for like 1 or 2 years, and then it kind of fell to the wayside. But when we did it because crime was just so, rampant in the Tri-County area. And our boys were being killed on a daily basis. So we wanted to see if we can address that issue with our young boys. And what happens is when you have these types of events and you have these type of issues, you have leaders, right? And as leaders lead, then they just stop leading and everything goes away. And that's why it's important that I have these two young men here, so, along with me, because I want to make sure that there's a legacy for these boys to follow in, right? I want to make sure that they can take the reins when Bush Kennedy stops and retires and sits on his old chair, sits on his rocking chair. These young men are gonna come by and sit down, and we're gonna sit on the porch. We're gonna have some lemonade, and we have some conversation like we always do. But it's important for me, right, as a black man, right? Because I always tell everybody, my uncles always said, you'll figure it out one day. You'll figure it out one day. Just grow up and you'll figure it out one day. It's important for me to help younger people figure it out sooner than I did. I don't want them to be 60 years old when they figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a little late in life for them to figure it out. So we do this, and we do this intentionally, right? We want to bring men that are successful within the community to communities where they don't see that, right? Where young men can see that, where young men can be empowered by that. And what really brought it back to light was we were doing the same thing with the girls, the Dream Girls Conference, along with Rosalind Fields and her team, and they're phenomenal. I mean, they have thousands of girls that show up, and they were pouring into these girls, and they were always, empowering these young women to do great things. And me and Rosalind were sitting down one day, and she said, "Well, what are we going to do about the boys?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about the boys?" And we brought it back just because of that conversation. And we're just hopeful that we have more young men that come in and that they're willing to pour into these young kids, because it's phenomenal to see the look on these young kids' face when they come to the conference, and to see how excited they are with the musical performances, and all of the entertainers that come out, like such as yourself. I mean, they hear you on the radio, right? They see you on TV. They see Raphael on TV and on the radio, on the TV as well, but they get to see him in person, and that's totally different.
Well, I'm honored to be a part of it. But shout out to Alvin and Isaiah. Alvin, I love it. Listen, man, let me just say this, because I see you got your little shorty with you. First, I want you to shout him out, and Isaiah, shout out your family. But this is. I'm not really scripted, to be honest, but this is even off script for me, and it's just the visual of seeing Alvin and his shorty there. I just want to share this with all, especially the young men, the younger brothers, and even the not so young ones. This is my take. The greatest gift that God can give you, for those who believe in a God, a higher power, supreme being, whatever, but the greatest gift that you could be given is the gift of parenthood and fatherhood. There's no greater gift. There's no greater responsibility. A part of me would say there's no harder job, but there's no more important job. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it wasn't hard at all. It was like breathing for me. But I can't stress how important it is. The greatest gift that you can be given is the gift of being a parenthood, or being a parent, and the gift of parenthood. But it's also the most responsibility, and that's something Butch and I have been sharing. I know that's been a theme through all of his, not just the Boys to Men's conferences, but anytime we have a conversation, even individually with younger brothers, or even in a group. So I just, Alvin, salute to you, brother. It brings joy to my heart, man, because you all, like, they talk about the next generation, like Butch said, Alvin and Isaiah, the future is now. You all are not just the future, you all are now. The leader is now. But Alvin, that little shorty, he's up next. So he's the future, man. We got to set the example for him. So I want to welcome both of you all to this show. So Alvin, who will we introduce us?
So this is Remington. This is Remington.
I love
Green
that
right
name.
here. This is my son. He's
How did you come up with that name?
Me and my wife, we just Googled it. It was like, we was kind of going through some names. It's like, you know what, that name sticks right there. We like that one. As you can see, he's really big into hygiene. He's always got a toothbrush in his mouth.
I love it.
Brushing his 4 little teeth.
With a very distinguished name like Remington, that would fit. So
yes.
Shout out. Isaiah, shout out to you, my brother. Good to see you again, man. How's your family, everybody?
Hey, pretty good. They're doing well. Definitely coming up on month 9 of marriage, and definitely I've been steadily building with the wife, but then at the same time, steadily excelling in career and in an impact. That's what it's all about, as Butch was talking about, being able to impact the youth and impact everybody out there in their community.
Beautiful. Well, so Butch, so Isaiah, we're gonna put you up on some game as two mentors and older brothers. Back in my community when I grew up on the south side of Chicago, like the older brothers in the neighborhood, even the ones that may have been doing, as we used to call it back in the day, the do-low. You maybe not on the right side of the tracks, but they saw something in us, and they would say, hey young boy, hey young buck, hey young bro, let me put you up on game. So I'm gonna put you up on get some game right here. Make sure you shout your queen out. 9 months. So please, if you don't mind, shout her out, man, and tell us what's her name.
Yes, so my queen's name is Stephanie Hamilton. And she's from the Alabama area, but she's from all over. But Stephanie Hamilton, she works in the medical field with MUSC.
All right, beautiful. Which is obvious. Stephanie, the queen, she got that smile on his face. He been smiling.
But Geno, look at both of them, man. All three of us got married within 2 years of each other.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
Alvin shot your queen out. We don't want you, because a happy wife is a happy life. So
yes, absolutely. So my queen's name is Rebecca Green. She is originally from Queens, New York.
Okay.
But she's lived all up and down the East Coast, even as far as Jamaica. So she's lived there. She currently works for the Department of Social Services for Charleston County. So love you, hun, if you're watching this. So, love you always, even if you're not.
So, well, you can make sure she watches it, because if she's not watching it live, then you can go ahead and just replay it for her. Yeah, right there. And say, hey, baby, y'all watching YouTube anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. This she go watch her man and her baby. I can't think of a better show to watch with her man and her husband on there. I ain't worried about HGTV or BET or the Real Housewives. She got her husband and her son on it. So Alvin, I want to start off, since we started off with you and them. Isaiah, I want to get your story. Why is it so important? Why was it important for you all to be a part of the Boys to Men Conference again this year? And what was the inspiration, and why was it so important for you to get involved in the first place when you first got started?
Well, I'll go first, and I believe I talked about this last year. I think it's very important for, guys, me and Isaiah's age, to show our face as leaders in the community. Young guys look up to everybody. It doesn't matter what age you are. Someone is looking up to you, whether you like it or not. Someone is looking up to you. Someone sees you walk across the street dressed a certain way. They say, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
So for me, it was, they're going to see us on stage. They're going to see me and Isaiah on stage. Somebody in that crowd, if I don't care if it's one, I don't care if it's all of them. Someone's going to be like, I want to be like them. And that's why it was so important to me, because I know that me and Isaiah come from two different walks of life, but we both are on similar paths with our career and our lives now. And that's what's important for these boys to understand, is that no matter where you come from, you can still do what you want to do. You can still follow your dreams. Nothing's stopping you. The only thing that's stopping you is you.
And the truth is, and Isaiah, then I want you to give me your reason why it was so important for you to get involved again this year, and why was it so important for you to get involved even in the beginning. Alvin, we all have a story. There are like 6 billion people on this planet, and each and every one of us has a story. And no two stories, like no two fingerprints, are exactly alike. Now, there are a lot of things that we have in common, especially as black men in America, regardless, being in our 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, 60s, 70s, it doesn't matter. Even your young shorty Remington.
Hey, Geno, we're losing your audio here. We're losing your audio.
I got you. All right, can you hear me now? Okay, I think it's been the enemy is busy. I think my battery's getting weak. So Isaiah, let us know why it was so important for you to get involved again this year.
Yeah, it was really important for me to get involved again this year, because definitely, as Alvin was saying, we wanted to reiterate that you can also be a leader, and then at the same time, you can also be able to do what we do. We want the guys to be inspired, and we want the guys to be able to know that there is so much more out there in the world. And as you just said, they're up next. They're up next to be able to lead the next innovation that is to come. They're up next to be able to be that next impact for their family. So being able to have that much more and be present, so that we can really be able to show an example, that was really important for us for sure.
I'm back, guys. You know, Bush, the enemy's busy. That's how you know you're doing the right thing when the enemy is constantly trying to throw sand in the game and mess everything up. So, but we dealt with that. So, Alvin and Isaiah, if you don't mind, let everybody know if there's anything different. I know there's always something new and exciting about this year's conference and why it is so important, especially considering the times that we are living in, what we are facing as a country, facing not just losing a democracy, but what that will involve, and especially for young men and men, not so young men that look like us, and women that look like us. So kind of let everybody know what's going to be, what's in store on July 20th. It doesn't matter, Alvin, if you want to start, or Isaiah, if you want to start off, and then Isaiah, whoever wants to go first, it doesn't matter. You know, this is home. You're all at home, man.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, for sure. So what will be in store is just a chance for them to really be able to see what is out there as far as like technology, but then at the same time really be able to see like those different fields that they see, things like the music field, music industry, music production. We will actually have a guy, the name of J.R. Johnson with Timeless Sound. He'll actually be able to get the guys to be able to record their own CDs if they want to do so. So them being able to see that type of technology and what that takes, but then at the same time, them being able to hear the stories of local leaders in the area, and then at the same time being able to hear the stories of a company like a Boeing, being able to see representatives from Boeing and seeing how they've been innovating in the front and being able to take technology by the horns and innovate that much more. That's some of the things to come for sure, and we're excited about it.
And like you said, just now, everyone's story, it may not be exactly the same. So we're gonna have guest speakers that come out that tell their story. And even though it may not be exactly the same, someone could definitely relate to at least one thing that's going on with them. So I think it's a really important part too, is to come and see the guest speakers and really just come and get poured into. So you just be, we want the young men to leave this conference with a new outlook. Even if you were on a good path already, come with a better outlook than you came with.
I love that. And speaking of young boys and young men, as young men and current leaders, Alvin and Isaiah, what is it that you would share if we were in the barbershop right now, speaking to some older brothers like Butch and myself, your uncles, your big brothers, your uncles, your dads, even your granddads? What is it that you want us? What do we need to hear from you? What is your generation? What's on your heart, and what do you need from us?
I would say like just being willing to lend that listening ear, being willing to be coachable, and being willing to be teachable. I know that there are people out there that can help us to get to where we want to go. So just being able to plug in and network and really get to know some of the people that you discern and understand are great people to be able to be around, being able to listen and learn from them. But then at the same time, just to what we need to know is just being able to having people that are willing to teach, having people that are willing to take a little bit of time and kind of be a little bit specific, be willing to kind of take the time and be patient for sure. But definitely just that part of being able to set up a great network so that you can get to where you wanting to go.
Isaiah, I want to follow up, and then Alvin, I want you to answer that same question, but I want to follow up, Isaiah, with something that you said, and Alvin, you can chime in too, because if I'm correct, Isaiah, you said be approachable. Did I hear you right?
Yes, that's correct.
So it's funny that you use that word. I had a conversation with my daughter about a day or two ago about having a conversation with a businesswoman, an African-American businesswoman who's very successful in Chicago, actually a couple of them. And because one is a woman named Barbara Bates is this iconic fashion designer. My daughter's a fashion designer. And I was telling her, listen, go introduce yourself. As a matter of fact, a mutual friend who knows this designer said, look, she sent me a text. Yeah, tell your daughter that she's very approachable. But my daughter, there was apprehension because she's like, who am I? Just walking off the street. She didn't know me. Will she see me as like competition because I'm a young designer? So help us speak to the older brothers in the community. When you say approachable, please explain to us, break it down, what that looks like, and how do we make ourselves approachable? Because it sounds great, but sometimes people don't really, communication is hard. So if you just tell us exactly what we need to do, and I know Butch, you're good at that, but I love to hear from them. I want them to speak in their own voice and for us to listen. So if you don't mind, Isaiah, tell us what that looks like, and Alvin, you can do the same.
Yeah, so what that would look like is just being able to be willing to, greet people, have a smile on your face, but then at the same time being willing to uh, be outside your comfort zone a little bit. Sometimes you may not say hello to every single person, but then at the same time being willing to say hello to someone that you believe could be an impact. Could create an impact, and then at the same time listening to that inkling of, hey, maybe I should talk to that person, because you never know when you have that inkling that person could be someone that could lead you next to that next thing that you're looking to do. That could basically be able to have it where you guys become a team and do that much more. So definitely just being able to kind of be outside your comfort zone, but then at the same time being willing to listen to yourself, and then at the same time sometimes it may take a small hello, hey man, how's the day, something like that, but that's about it.
Hey, so Butch, I want you to jump in and give me some backup as we toss it to Alvin, because I want to speak to the OGs, as the kids say, the OGs and the triple OGs, the older brothers and sisters in the community. So this is me speaking to my peers.
So Geno, I love this conversation. I love exactly what you're saying. We have a whole breakout session dedicated to that at this year's conference. It's called the Man Cave. And I met both of these young gentlemen, and I've worked with them for years, man. I met AJ when he was actually in high school. So I've known them for a while, and I know them really, really well. So I've had that conversation, but in having that conversation, you got to be willing to listen, right? And because these gentlemen here will definitely tell it like it is. You just gotta listen. And I love, because on Monday nights we have our Zooms, right? I just love to hear how they interact with the young men during our Zoom. So it's crazy, man. I'm proud of these guys. So
and see, Bush, you're a good example, but this is the backup I want to get from you, and I know I can because we talked about it. So this is my editorial to the OGs and the brothers, the OGs, the older brothers in the community. Stop being afraid. And I'm not saying each and every older brother is like that, but there are some out there that's like that. But you know this. They buy into the same racist stereotypes that the other communities put and project on us if they're dressed a certain way. If you see some young brothers, coming down the street dressed a certain way, you have the same reaction that the people that we talk about who want our destruction and who want to oppress us. You speak the language of the oppressor. You repeat the same racist, anti-black things and have the same anti-black sentiment that you would expect some white racists to have. So we got to stop with that.
Our kids see that. Our kids know that, right? They see that, they know that, they live that. And who are they going to turn to, right? Who do they get to turn to, right? Because you've already ostracized them. You already put them in that position, right? That society puts them in, right? You never give them the opportunity to actually go up to them and speak to them like Isaiah was saying. You never talk to them, man. And these kids, man, I'll be honest with you. They say that they learn a lot from me, but I learn a lot more from them than they'll ever know. So yeah, man, that's just a powerful statement there.
And I don't care how much money you make, how successful you been. I don't give a damn how big your house or how many summer homes you got and electric cars and Mercedes and BMWs and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Somebody, and I don't care how talented you got, somebody had to give you a break. Somebody had to coach you. Even Michael Jordan was coached. Dean Smith coached him. And then when he got to the NBA, even Phil Jackson, who's complicated, he's kind of reveals his little racist tendencies, but he wanted to win. But even Michael learned from Phil Jackson, is like, okay, you can average 37 points and lose in the conference finals, or maybe you can get your teammates involved, maybe just average 30 or 28 and win 6 championships. So the point I'm trying to make, I don't care who you are and how successful you are, somebody believed in you and gave you a shot. And those same young men who you see dressed in whatever, hoodies, jeans, whatever, you were that same young man. Now maybe you didn't dress the same way, but you were that same young person that there was some old people that were brainwashed with that anti-blackness and probably looked at you the same way that you were looking at these young brothers in the community. So stop with that. So I just needed to say that, Alvin, AJ, I didn't mean to, but I needed to get that, because I know it's something Butch and I are real passionate about. It's like, and it goes into what Isaiah was talking about, being approachable. And Butch, you said it best. These young brothers and sisters, listen, they are smarter than, look, they can see it and they can smell it. Your energy, your spirit, our spirit is just the energy that we emit. And these young people, they can pick up the energy that the fear, the condescending attitude, or that you're better than them. They pick up on that, like you said, Butch. So, Alvin, take it away, man. Because that's a pet peeve of mine. You can see that thing really bothers me. It does.
No, and
because
I get that.
I had my grandfather, but I had people in the community, even as a kid, like I said, that they saw I was a kid, really smart in school, really athletic. They wouldn't even, I had cousins, older cousins they were gangbangers, but they had a pact with the rival gang because I lived on the border. They was like, hey, my cousin Jeannie, look, he's off. He ain't about that life. He's into sports and education. So we gonna do what we do, but basically they protected me. And it was like, now listen, what you're not gonna do, he ain't about that life, so leave him alone. And we need more of that. Go ahead, Alvin.
And yeah, no, just to piggyback on what Isaiah says about being approachable, also in the conversation, be open to new ideas, be open to new, ways of thinking. Because like you just said, these kids nowadays, they have like an eye and a nose for things that we may not even think about doing, like business plans and things like that. Like don't shoot someone these kids' ideas down so quickly without even giving it a moment's thought. I've seen so many times a kid will say something to an adult, I want to do this, and an adult will look at him like, well, and it's like, and that's all fine, and that's fine and whatnot. I know they're looking out for the kid and everything like that, but there is a better way of going about it. You need to still support what they want to do. Tell them a good way of going about it. Say, hey, I may not be the person to help you out with this because I don't know about it, but let's find someone who can. If you want to be in talk show, if someone came to me and said, I want to be in talk show, I'm like, man, that's not something you want to do. But I'm like, you know what? I have never attempted to do anything talk show like, but I know someone who can help. His name's Geno Jones. All right, maybe you should watch his show. Maybe I can see if I can get you in contact with him. I know Mr. Butch. Mr. Butch knows everybody. He's a good friend with Geno Jones. Maybe I can get you a time where you just go sit in and just talk with him. And that's also what this conference is about as well. Networking, being able to find other avenues, being able to connect with the right people so that you can follow your dreams.
So, Butch, to close it out, I know you're going to throw it back to Alvin and Isaiah. Any final thoughts that you want the public to know, if they need to sign up, registration, if there's a cost, how they can support what you're doing with your Boys to Men Conference and your nonprofit, and everybody on camera, be sure to shout out, give everybody your social media contact information where they can follow you, and Butch, where they can support you and your organizations.
Yeah, plain and simple, man. This is for the boys. This has nothing to do with our organization, nothing to do with Isaiah or AJ. This is for the boys. You know what I mean? We just need to empower our young men and empower our young women as well. And the ultimate goal, man, is to make life easier for our young kids, right? Make sure that they have a better life than we did, right? Because if they don't, they're doomed to repeat the past, right? You just said something about 2025, about the new plan they got going on, and if
Project
we sit back at
2025, yes.
Project 25, yeah, so we can continue down this path, right? And our kids won't be prepared for it, right? We gotta have these tough conversations with our kids, man. And Isaiah and AJ, man, they just hit the nail on the head, man. You got to be open to those conversations. And sometimes those conversations aren't pleasant. Sometimes they're uncomfortable. But our young kids are really smart. They're really smart. They know a lot, and they just want to be heard. And that's what's important about this conference. We want to sit down. We want to hear them, and we want to make sure. I mean, what really troubles me about this is that when you have the girls' conference, they show up by the droves. When you have the boys' conference, you got to prod and poke, and you got to work harder to get them there, right? We want to make that an easier trial, man. We want, because we're providing something for your kids, right? We want to make sure that what we provide for your kids is sustainable, right? We want to make sure that it fills them up and it makes them better men in the long run. So our goal is just to make our kids better, our sons better sons, better fathers. Just by listening to other men that have traveled down the same paths that they have. It's plain and simple, man. These young gentlemen here have great fathers. I know both of their fathers. They have great fathers, so they have a great foundation. The problem that I have is that the majority of these kids that are coming out here don't have fathers. They don't have that foundation. They need to see something like these guys here that are willing to pour into them so they'll have a big brother, right? And that's just as important, to have a big brother. And that's what all this mentorship stuff is about, have a big brother. And these guys are big brothers to quite a few young kids right now who really look up to them. And I'm proud of them because, when I asked them to be part of this thing, neither one of them hesitated. And they just show up and they do what they do, man. And if you ever watch them, you'll know just how amazing guys that they are, man. And all of them, like you said, like AJ was saying earlier, they're in this almost the same career field. We're all in the same almost the same career field. So I mean, there was a saying, iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And that's what these two guys here are doing. And my goal is to make sure that, when I go through these doors, right, that I'm not just going to leave the door open. I'm going to take the hinges off the door so these guys can walk through, right? It's not about them, having to do the same fight that I fought. It's about making things easier for these guys here so that the next generation can come through and do the same thing. They'll do the same thing for them.
And
So
let me just
that's
send
pretty
out.
much it.
No, go finish your thought. Like, I want to piggyback on what you're saying.
Go ahead. You
I just want to send a call to action to the community, Butch and AJ, and to Isaiah, because it's up to us, the dads, the uncles, the big brothers, the moms, the big sisters, the aunties, collectively, even if there's, single moms, single dads, uncles, grandparents, grandfathers, grandmothers, bring your sons, bring your grandsons, bring your nephews, the kid, your next door neighbor's kid who maybe their parent works on the weekend or whatever. It is up to us collectively as a community to do this. It's no one person that can do all of this. The old saying, if you punch somebody with your fingers open like that, you'll break your fingers. You don't have any power. But man, when you bring those fingers together and form a fist, it's powerful. So that's what we have to do as a community. So that's my call to action, that on July 20th, that everybody come out. So Butch, let everybody know what they need to do if they need to register online, if maybe they don't have Wi-Fi, to take part of it and to bring whatever young man, young boy or young man in their community or in their family to this event. What does it take?
Right. You can actually register on Eventbrite, which is the easy way to register. You can just Google the Boys to Men Conference, and it's easy to find. Or you can just contact our organization at palmettohopenetwork.org. And there's a link right there where you can register there as well. Or you can contact us personally on Facebook. My name is Butch Kennedy. You can contact me on Facebook, or Isaiah or AJ, any one of those guys there. We're all on Facebook. And our goal is just to make it, we make this a free event on purpose and intentionally, because we want to make sure that these boys come out and they get something that we didn't get when we were young.
And Butch has a meal. He ain't gonna brag, but I will. The young men are fed. They have meals and healthy meals. It's amazing, and I'm really honored to be a part of it. So Isaiah, AJ, your closing remarks, final thoughts. Isaiah, you want to start off?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, definitely, like what you're saying, registering on Eventbrite could be easy. Boys is spelled BOYZ, two men group. So TO men group. And then at the same time, we also have the Instagram Boys to Men Mentor group, on Instagram. And, definitely follow there. And as what you're saying, following on Facebook is fine as well. Isaiah Hamilton. But definitely, we look forward to seeing all of you guys at the conference, and we're definitely looking forward to it being a great event to be able to impact the community that much more.
AJ, you're the closer. You're like you taking the last shot. So go ahead, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, Steph. You taking the last shot there, brother.
Bring your boys out, or bring the uncles, bring the dads. We have a lot of fun, y'all. We have a lot of fun. It's not a lecture, nothing like that. We have a lot of fun. You should have seen me and Isaiah on stage last year. We was out there dancing with the boys. They came on. Everyone came on stage. We had a great time. And whatnot. Do it for the next generation.
Yes.
Do it
yes.
for them.
There you go.
And I'll leave it at that.
I couldn't have said it any better. AJ, you definitely the closer, brother, because you close it. It's all about. You see that young man named Remington, because he's the future. You know, Butch and I, we are lighting the torches, because like I said, you know, we like LeBron. We good for another 3-4, then we gonna go ahead and we gonna fall back. But we in good hands, because the new leadership is already in place with young men like Isaiah and AJ, but they are doing it for that little young man and young men like Remington, and not just the young men, but the young women too. So, Bush, is there anything that we missed before we close out? I want to thank all you guys for your time and for coming on. So if there's anything we missed, please mention it.
Yeah, we're definitely good, man. These guys are leading now. They're leading today. They're running this Boys to Men conference, and it's a good feeling to sit back and watch them do their thing. You know what I mean? Last year I didn't have to do all the stuff I had to do on all of them, man. And it's just great to have them being a part of it. And we're building something here, right? So we're building something. I think it's going to be pretty special. And these two guys, they know that the torch has already been passed. They know that in the future that I'll be there if they need me, right? But in a sense, when they have the meetings, I leave sometimes. Sometimes I'm gone. It's on them, man. And I'll tell them, man. It's on you guys, man. If you need me, I'll be there. But I think you guys got it, and they prove me right every time. So I'm proud of them.
Well, I'm beyond proud of you, brothers. Which I'm always proud of you and honored to work with you and your queen, Lisa. Thank you, guys. May God continue to bless and have favor on you. So, July 20th, Boys to Men Conference. It's going to be, what high school is that again?
Baptist Hill.
That's what I thought.
Middle High School.
And
Lisa's going to be there too. She's going to run a breakout session with Lady T and Crystal Matthews for the parents. So we got something for the parents.
Great.
Parents can come as well.
So that's Saturday, July 20th. Starts at 9 a.m. Get that right?
9 a.m. The doors open at 8.
Okay.
The event starts at 9.
And Google Baptist Hill High School. It's in Hollywood, South Carolina. Don't have the address, but that'll be easy to find. And I'm honored to be a part of that. I'll be there on that Saturday, July 20th. May God bless. May God continue to bless and have favor on you, Butch, and you, AJ, and Isaiah. Thank you, guys. You guys are fabulous. So AJ, you can go ahead and have your queen. If she missed any of this, y'all can sit down and, you can tell them, you can get the highlights of President Biden's speech. It'll be everywhere, so y'all can see the highlights later. But she can go ahead and watch her husband and her baby boy on camera if she missed it right now. So thank you, guys. Love and respect to all three of you all, and I'll see you July 20th.
Peace.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you, guys. Fabulous. I just love working with those guys and having them on the show. I got to do something real.
Yeah, Lisa.
A quick light. All right, listen. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Tell everybody to subscribe, share, screen grab, like, leave your comments in the comment section, and binge watch all my back episodes. The Geno Jones Show, brought to you by CM Transportation. CM Transportation LLC.net. If your business needs a transportation company that is dependable, reliable, and on time, CM Transportation Company is the company for you. So you can also give them a call. They're based here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, but they do business nationwide. 843 area code 606-2702, 843-606-2702. Shout out Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Check him out on Instagram, on IG, Kel Be Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, Bruce Gage, the official wardrobe consultants and stylists for the Geno Jones Show. You can check them both out. As a matter of fact, check Allie Jones and her Lexi Jones collection out on IG, Instagram. It's like I'm gonna say IG-gram. So IG is short for Instagram. Like folks is on Instagram, they'll say, I'm on IG. So anyway, follow Allie on Instagram. It's lx.ncl underscores, that little dash. lx.ncl underscore. Bruce Gage, Miglio Di Mario Uomo, it's an Italian name. And Flyball the store, check them both out. Miglio Di Mario Uomo is MiglioDiMariouomo. And Flyball the store. Just spell it just the way you say it. FLYBALLTHESTORE.com. Flyballthestore.com. So the next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, my weekend review. Funny Friday. You know we're going to have some fun. My guest co-host is supposed to join me, Miss Keela Carson. Until then, if you missed any of this episode, if you're watching me live, once again, please leave your comments in the comment section. Please tell everybody to subscribe to the show. My goal is to get 1,000 new subscribers in the next roughly 60 days. So by Labor Day weekend, my goal is to get 1,000 new subscribers. All right, so subscribe, share, screen grab, rip the video. Let's make it go viral. Like, comment, binge watch all my back episodes. We'll see you Friday. That'll be July 12th. Yes, today is July 11th. So Friday, July 12th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. I love you. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.